Good evening, everybody. I'm here for a quick live stream today. Just working on a gift for a friend, a Valentine's Day theme. He's a really fun artist. I really enjoy his work. And these are two of his characters. Uh, really great buddies, and I'm drawing them. You know, I've always liked that kind of radiating heart pattern. The most recognizable example I have is like the ending of the episodes of Powerpuff Girls, where like it says, the day has been saved, and then you see the Powerpuff Girls in the center, like the radiating hearts. I kind of want to do something like that here. Let's see if I can make it work. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy and that you had a good Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day. Yeah. As long as you know you're all having fun. So I start the line art already. I need to finish the teeth and mouths a bit. So yeah, I've been doing well, just keeping busy, and I have Monday off for President's Day, so I'm happy about that because I've been pretty busy the last few weeks with this and that and a lot of things in between. When I draw this guy's character, like he has such a very fun style, so I try to recreate it in a way. Um, I adore how smooth his line art is, because mine is not that smooth, but I try. So yeah, keep trying, keep working on improving. Everything's practice. How those teeth look. Okay. They're two very toothy characters. Well, I love to smile too, so show a lot of teeth that way. That might look bad. Okay. Alright. Well, like I always enjoy doing fan art for friends, and that's what I do a lot in February for Valentine's Day / month. I finished one picture a couple days ago for another friend that featured his character and one of my characters working together on flower arranging. I like the concept, and I think it looks pretty cute. So this one's just kind of another gift for someone. And I have other ones planned. So hopefully I can get to them before the month's over. Okay, his teeth. Because I don't want to try my hand at some other kind of fan art too. Like I'm getting on a bit of a Digimon kick recently. Because I used to watch a lot of it when I was younger. Mostly the first two seasons, Digimon Adventure and Digimon Adventure 02 were those were my jam back in the day. I tried to watch the third one, Tamers, which is usually the first one and the third one. Like Adventure and the first Adventure and Tamers are the ones people point to as being the best Digimon seasons. And while I did like what I saw of Tamers, I only saw it when I was like really young, and I guess there was like a time slot change because I was never able to finish it when it was airing back then. and I just never got around to watching again. Then I watched a bit of Frontier, which was very mixed, and I've just kind of researched the other seasons. I haven't really watched any of them. Um, it was kind of like after that transition to Frontiers when kind of like Digimon, at least in the West, really kind of started to die out, um, and its blip of popularity from Adventure and Adventure 02. I'm gonna make that fang a bit wider. But all the Digimon designs I like. There are some that are just way too ridiculous. Usually once you get to like Ultimate and Mega levels, that's when things are just ooh. Like I feel bad for the animators how to like do many frames of that. Well, actually, like the first Digimon, well, I know, Adventure and O2 had really spotty animation, but very okay. But they did sit, so they had that big limitation animation budget, but they did a really good job with the characters, and that's what people really remember from. Um, oh, that's the reason really why Adventure is so good because of the characters, the human characters particularly, because they were the more developed of the cast. Like the Digimon themselves, like the story wasn't about them. It was about the character dynamics between the humans, and like the Digimon were usually just complements to them, or contrast. It was mostly contrast. I think just for Joe and Gomamon. I really like Gomamon a lot more now. He's so cute. Didn't really care for his first evolution, Ikakumon, but I really like Zudomon, his ultimate form, like right after that. And then he gets another one in Digimon Adventure Tri, which is like was it 15-year anniversary series of movies that they kind of cut up into a series that was really kind of. I haven't watched any of that, but I've heard a lot about it. That does have its faults. I want to give it a shot sometime. I'm interested because I like the first two so much. The two adventure. Well, O2. Back in the day, I really liked O2, but when I rewatched it after that, it just. I understand that it has problems, like a lot of problems. I mean, like, whoa, that's a lot of problems. Mostly when it comes to story structure. And what I read is that the show had two creative directors that clashed a lot, and that led to a lot of messiness in how that season progressed. And you can see it. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of zigzags in the plot and the weird just moments that just don't. I mean, well, it's like plot arcs that happen, but then no one talks about them again, or they led to nothing. Or there's one instance where there's a plot point that's brought up between two characters bored in a car ride, and that just changes the direction of the plot right then and there. And then when they're faced with the consequence of the problem, it just solves itself. I mean, it's so messy. I mean, it's not a broken disaster, but it's just really messy. I would not call Adventure O2 the worst of the seasons. Like, I haven't seen all of them, but from what I've researched, it's not the worst regarded anymore. It used to be, but then after, I think definitely after Frontier and the two after that, there was, they have different names in the West and in Japan, but there's like, I think in the West, I think it's Data Squad, and then after that it's Fusion, and those are a lot more contentious. I didn't watch anything of maybe clips of Data Squad, but that's about it, and a clip or two of Fusion. I just kind of came across online. There's also kind of in this picture, different topic. I'm trying to also go for like a Looney Tunes end credits kind of pop out thing, like when Porky Pig does the "That's all, folks" thing, and he comes out of that opening. It's kind of like that with a heart shape. That's what I'm doing. I really want to do I really want to talk more about Digimon sometime and make some videos about it, because I've been watching some videos about Digimon and I kind of want to go and maybe do some, like I definitely need to do a lot more recorded content. And that's a goal I keep just pushing back on. I do have a lot of ideas, and the day I've always has to kind of revisit Digimon, particularly Adventure and O2, because those are a big part of my childhood. I mean, those and Pokemon were just my first anime, pretty much. But like those Pokemon, DBZ, and Sailor Moon were the first for me, and probably like a lot of kids from my generation. Just those were the bee's knees. Those four shows. And the biggest tragedy I think at Digimon, at least in the West, was that it was never okay. Digimon was okay, despite the similarities in the name. It wasn't a Pokemon clone, but in the West it was marketed as a Pokemon clone, and that was like that was a fatal flaw for it's like holding its own identity and its own kind of consistent fan base. And another big thing was you say what you want about Pokemon, I mean it is just like the anime, at least it's the same stuff over and over and over again, but one thing it does have is consistency. Its story, its characters, and generally its quality. Digimon doesn't have that. But not in a bad, that's not always a bad thing, because Pokemon has that problem where it's Ash Ketchum for 20 years, really. And then you're stuck with him. Then Digimon just does give you like different casts each season. The problem is it's not always a great cast. It was a great cast twice. Every time after that, it was okay. Well, O2 was the same cast, but with new people who weren't as good as the old cast, but the old cast is still there, so you kept on being reminded of these better characters with these newer, not so good characters, and that was an issue for O2. But then, Tamers had a good cast. And the cast in what was it called? In Frontier was really bland. I mean, I could never get into any of them. I just that was the one where they turned to Digimon, which is that was never a problem for me because I didn't really care at that point. But I know it turned off many people. And a big part of the show was the partner dynamic. And the partners are always fun compliments to the characters. So taking away that element is already gonna, draw some ire. And then, you'd think the writing staff would try to compensate for that. Like they compensate the, lack of animation and adventure by having really strong characters and story. In Frontier, though, they didn't compensate the change in style with strong characters and story. Instead, they compensated with just passable characters and a very weak story. I just like no matter how much of I watched Frontier, just kind of was a blur in a lot of ways to me, and that because nothing really stuck, except for the guy with a mirror face, and his face was like a mirror, and lips, and that's all his face was. I remember him, and then I remember the kid with the hat, the girl with the hat, the fat guy in the jump. Okay, that's me. The heavier set guy in a jumpsuit. It made no sense for him to be in I don't know why he was in a jumpsuit. I can't remember if he was like there was a character story for that. And then there's also some, like weird like Days of Our Lives. This character had a long lost twin thing going on that was just that was strange to me, and the character's not strong enough to make that interesting either. So yeah, no, I mean yeah, Frontier was a big step back from the much more acclaimed Tamers. And after that, there was Data Squad, where the characters were older and they were kind of going for like a detective show kind of thing ish. I like Galmon, but and then they did Agumon again because Agumon is pretty much the Pikachu of Digimon, like that series mascot that they keep going back to. I mean, like, there's been, I mean, okay, even in Frontier, okay, one of the main characters evolution line is themed after Agumon's for Adventure, and so then they have Agumon in the next one in Tamers. No, not Tamers. No, Daz Squad. Like, there's a new Agumon with like that. He has the same evolution, but they're just topically different. Like, the names are different, and there's like some changes to the design, but the evolution line is still the same. They're still like Greymon, but with slightly different design and name. There's still Metal Greymon with slightly different design and name, and it was the same Agumon, but with like belts on his arms, and that's really the only kind of difference I could tell, like visually. And so it's they just, and then of course they're bringing the whole thing back, bringing the band back together from Adventure with a different art style, which is interesting, but it just kind of caused a bit of like dissonance for me, where I kind of like, since the Digimon are the same visual style that they were in the first time around, but then the human characters look totally different, like are a totally different art style than before. So it's kind of, I mean, it's a thing you have to get used to. So I'll need to get used to that. But just like looking at those clips I've seen, it's like, whoa, that's a contrast. So. And there's bunches and bunches of short movies. Like, I remember seeing one short movie for Frontier, like the Isle Lost Digimon. I remember really liking it at the time. I haven't really watched it in a long while, so I want to see if that holds up, if I can find it. I remember thinking a lot of the side characters in that were total Bs. And that the human character, I don't again, like, I remember the one-shot side characters a lot more than the actual main characters from Frontier, which is sad. And that was just and particularly in this standalone short film. So yeah. Kind of curious whose favorite Digimon are, like people in the comments or watching live. If you have any favorite Digimon, let me know. Kind of curious. Growing up, I loved the heck out of Hawkmon. I liked his voice because he had this like prim and proper British voice in the English dub. And that was another example of a character contrast, because he contrasted to Yoli, who I loved. I mean, for me, Yoli in Adventure 2, she was second to Ken, who actually had an arc and real strong personality. Yoli was my favorite right after him. Well, he was not my favorite. She was my favorite, but he was, of the new characters, he was the best written. I still like him, but I like her more just because I had more fun watching her. Because for me, her character, like, she told it like it was. Like, she was the one who would call people out on their mess, which is really needed in a show like that, where there's such like a fantastical element, and some people were kind of, trying to edge their way through things, and she's just going like, okay, like, she slapped some fools at least twice, I think, and like really slapped him, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like. Well, she needed to. They were being hysterical. So, um, yeah. But again, I think also the huge contentious thing people bring up when it comes to O2 is is that there's a distant finale in that show, which is really not good. Okay, distant finales are really hard to do right. Okay, alright, I'll try to word this. Definitely when I do the written review, this will be a lot more better worded um, in time. Like if you do a distant finale well, it's like a very like a fond send off to the characters, and you see where they are, what happens to them, and you kind of get that comfort of knowing that they ended up in a good place. If you do a distant finale badly, though, it can sour your interpretation of the show forever. How I Met Your Mother. And Digimon Adventure 2 had spades of the latter in that. It just it did a lot of things weirdly that I don't know. For one, it kind of gives careers to characters that don't make sense with their characters. Like one character who was like an aspiring rock star, and this is a finale. For some reason, he's an astronaut, and it makes there's like no at all like segue between those, at least in Adventure 2. But they kind of like hand wave it and try, I think, from what I've heard. So, and it's also a problem with tries. They're trying to adjust, like they're trying to go along with that finale. Like, I don't know. With all levers you're taking already, why can't you just kind of fudge that and kind of do like pull a X-Men Days of Future Past and kind of like override something you don't like. I mean, at this point, because you want how much integrity is there really? I've seen some of those designs, honey. Yeah, and that's a hot discussion for another day. I want to get into some of it though, but yeah. I mean, Angemon, yeah, Angemon does look super cool, and not just for the reasons everyone brings up, but I always liked her. I mean, like when I was younger, I really liked her. I still do, just because she had a very cool design. But I kind of see now people. Did I not add the layer I wanted to add? Okay, I'm sorry. There we go. What was I even talking about? When I was a kid, I liked Angemon for her design. No. Angewomon for those names. I always liked Angewomon for her design. And that really awesome fight between her and Lady Devimon, which is... Okay. That episode with the fight scene in Digimon Adventure between Angewomon and Lady Devimon, in the dub especially, is it's probably one of my favorite episodes of all Digimon, because it combines so many great things about the show and the dub. But I mean, between the great character designs, the limited animation doing what it could with this kind of fight scene, the characters' reactions, and the dub writing, which brings up the absurdity of the situation, and just it's the best. I really, if you need to watch one episode of Digimon, watch that one, because it's a hoot and a half. I love it. Not just for the fan service, just because of everything. I mean, the fan service is fine, it's Angelmon and Lady Devimon, but it's so much fun to watch. It's towards the end of that Adventure 1 as well. I think it's maybe the 5th to last episode or so. So yeah. It's kind of like, for me, like there's a lot of stuff in Digimon that's kind of like totally spies for me now, where I'm just like at the time I liked it genuinely for in innocent ways, and then later I found out that a lot of people liked it for less innocent ways. So I just want to make that clear. Like I did, like I was never, I never picked up on the fan service back then. At least in regards to totally spies the fetishy stuff. So, but yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. I watched the heck out of Totally Spies growing up. I love that show. Again, for innocent reasons. Okay. Okay, let me try something. Also, oddly enough, growing up, I didn't buy that many Digimon toys or Pokemon toys. Like I adored both shows, but I didn't buy that many toys. Like I think all I remember getting only ever, I don't even know where that toy is anymore. But there was one I remember getting, and it was an action figure of Shurimon, one of Hawkmon's evolutions. Um, that's somewhere in my closet. I have no idea where. And I always wanted to get one of like the D3 Digivices, but I don't know. I just never got around to getting one. I wanted to get the Red Hawkmon one because he was my boy back then. I adored Hawkmon. Like I remember back in the early ages of the internet, um, there was like it was Fox Kids that where it was airing initially, and they did this like thing of like vote for your favorite Digimon. And I remember going on there and voting for Hawkmon, and he won. I think I know it. I remember, like I like cared for his position. He won seventh place, and it was about it was all the partner Digimon from Adventure and Adventure 02. So Hawkmon in that whole lineup won seventh place, and then Agumon won second place, and Vmon won first place. Which, looking back, is kind of hysterical. Well, not really. Well, not really now, especially because I see where the direction the fan art's taken. Where, you know, at least where I've seen it, there's a lot more favorable pictures of Vmon and his lines. Well, I do see a bit of Gray War, War Greymon in some fan art. Man, they really getting into those designs. Like look up War Greymon and you'll know what I mean. Like just what that can kind of generate in a fan base. I like the design. I can understand why the fans go in the direction they do. So, like, there's a lot of Digimon designs that kind of feel inspired by American comic books, particularly from the '90s. Like everything's muscle ballet. There's some Digimon, and like there's so many Digimon that are peckalicious, honey. I mean, there's just abs and biceps for days in that lineup, especially when you get to the champion levels and higher. Um, Certainly a lot of kaiju inspirations, which is also true of the first generation of Pokemon. There's a lot of designs that are inspired by kaiju. You know, a lot of old time Godzilla movies and the like. Uh, like I know I forgot the name of the monster, but there's a particular monster from the Godzilla franchise that has to heavily inspire the designs for Nidoking, Nidoqueen, and Rhyhorn. Particularly the first two. Uh, there's even like a scythe-armed monster from Godzilla, so that's where you get. That's what leads to Scyther and Kabutops. Probably. I just include that line here. Okay. Oh, let me see. We forgot to get that bit. Might as well get the ears too. Trying to think of how I want to do the eyes. I want to stay true to how he does his. I first put in the whiskers on the chin. Alright, see if I can get that to look good. Ooh. What layer is that on? Oh, bomb. Oh, that was dumb of me. Alright. Gotta do that over again. Alright, let's give that a shot. Well, I feel like they have to be a bit bigger. No, too big. Okay, eyes are a bit more oblong. The pupils are a bit more oblong. Not so quite perfect circles. Alright. Oh, he needs eyebrows. Alright, let's see here. My music wasn't too loud to my headphones. Sometimes it gets caught in the audio, like caught in the mic, and then they have to do the edits on YouTube so that they don't, sometimes it doesn't get flagged. Sometimes it gets flagged, and it's like, so that's on me. Sorry about that. Ooh, I need to do all the covering up the little corners that were missed. Ooh, my phone buzzed. Huh? Is my audio not working? Let me see. Oh, someone said my audio wasn't working, but I can hear it. Oh, alright. Oh, friend of mine just. I guess it was just a quiet moment when I wasn't saying anything and he thought the audio was dead. Yeah. Alright. Alright. False alarm. Alright, now let's work on the backgrounds. Yeah. Okay, let me try something. See if it works. Nah. that's gonna look. Okay. Just kind of feel a bit better if there's a line between the hearts to kind of keep things from looking too lumpy like color. Though it might look like lumpy in a different way when this part's done, so I'm attempting it this way. Yeah, the shower. Alright, let's take a look. Make another layer, just kind of corner, so I need to do that a couple more time, like one more time, and then kind of parts of it on the corners there. All right. All right. Ah. All right. Try and get those. Want these to curve just the way I want them to. Might not happen. But I can try. I think it's fine having that corner pop in there. Ooh, it's almost there. Okay. Maybe not. Oh yeah, that line wasn't as good as I thought it was. Okay. Ah, just need to finish this line. There are other ways to do this. I just try to do a bit of an old-fashioned way, because I know that it probably will work. That one small stretch looks a bit concave. Ooh, wrong layer. Wait, no, that's the right layer. Crumbs. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm about done. Just want maybe probably add in a little shading in a bit, some other details. But I think that's a good place to end the stream for tonight. Hope I'll get this done. Ooh, forgot. He has arms. Okay. Woohoo. Alright. So that's a good place to end for tonight, I think. I'll get this done soon. Maybe earliest would be sometime tonight, but probably won't be until sometime tomorrow. I can get a few more looks at it and edit anything that I'm finding out turned out kind of weird. I want to thank everyone for watching live and later on YouTube or Twitch, however you see it. And hope you guys have a great weekend. It's a long weekend for me because I have Monday off. And if you do too, happy long weekend. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.